Hello again, Reds. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking about one of the biggest and most emotional topics surrounding Liverpool right now, the future of Mohamed Salah. This is not just another transfer rumor. This is about legacy, respect, timing, and whether one of the greatest players in Liverpool's modern history should stay for a proper farewell or leave for a massive Saudi deal. Mohamed Salah is currently away on international duty with Egypt at the Africa Cup of Nations, but his name has been dominating headlines back in England. Over the past few weeks, everything changed very quickly. What started as a normal season under new head coach Arne Slot suddenly turned into a public disagreement that shocked fans around the world. After Liverpool's dramatic 3-3 draw with Leeds United last month, Salah gave an explosive interview. He said he felt the club had thrown him under the bus and strongly suggested that his relationship with Arne Slot was finished. For a player who has always been professional and calm in front of the media, this was a huge moment. It immediately raised serious questions about his future at Anfield. Things escalated fast. Salah was left out of the Liverpool squad for the Champions League win over Inter Milan, a decision that stunned supporters. However, just days later, he was back in the starting lineup for the 2-0 win over Brighton after face-to-face talks with Slot. Before leaving to join Egypt, Salah also apologized to his teammates, trying to calm the situation and show leadership. Despite this, the damage had already been done. Former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher quickly spoke out, urging Salah to stay at the club at least until the end of the season. Carragher believes that if Salah is going to leave, he deserves a proper Anfield send-off, one final goodbye in front of the fans who have adored him for years. Now, former Liverpool midfielder David Thompson has backed up that view. He admitted the situation between Salah and Slot was strange and unexpected. Thompson pointed out that at 33 years old, Salah may need to accept rotation and rest at times, especially under a new system. Football has changed, and so has Liverpool's style of play. Thompson also spoke honestly about Salah's performances this season. He said teams have learned how to stop him by doubling up on his side and overloading defensively. Liverpool no longer press and create chaos from the front like they used to, and that chaos was where Salah thrived the most. Even so, Thompson made it clear that Salah remains a standard-bearer for the club, a player who raised everyone else's level just by being on the pitch. Importantly, Thompson added that if a big offer comes in from Saudi Arabia, Liverpool may see this as the right time to sell. Not out of disrespect, but because of age, value, and timing. He still stressed that Salah deserves a farewell that matches his incredible contribution, not a quiet exit in January. And this is where the Saudi Pro League enters the story. Clubs in Saudi Arabia have been monitoring Salah for a long time. The money involved would be huge, both for the player and for Liverpool. Former England manager Sam Allardyce believes Liverpool will not hesitate if the right offer arrives. According to him, loyalty in football works both ways, and clubs always protect their interests. Allardyce reminded fans of past examples, like Jordan Henderson. Liverpool could have let Henderson run down his contract, but instead they sold him for nearly £20 million. From a business point of view, it made sense. Allardyce believes the same logic applies to Salah. If a massive bid arrives now, Liverpool will seriously consider it. So where does this leave Mohamed Salah? On one side, there is history, legacy, and the love of the fans. Salah is one of the greatest players Liverpool has ever had. He delivered goals, trophies, unforgettable moments, and carried the club through some of its best years. On the other side, there is reality, a new manager, a new system, declining influence on games, and an offer that may never come again. The biggest agreement emerging from all this is clear. If Salah is to leave, it should be done the right way. Not through anger, not through benchings, and not through rushed decisions. Liverpool fans want to say goodbye properly, and Salah deserves to hear Anfield sing his name one last time. Whether that goodbye comes this summer or later remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, this situation is far from over, and the next few weeks could shape the end of an era at Liverpool Football Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything. Hello again, Reds. Welcome back to our channel. The January transfer window is finally open, and things are already starting to heat up at Anfield. After a frustrating run of form and growing problems across the pitch, Liverpool may be forced into action sooner rather than later. Arne Slot knows this month could define the rest of the season, and the early signs suggest the Reds are preparing to move. Despite spending big in the summer on stars like Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz, Liverpool now find themselves stretched thin in key areas. Injuries, international duty, and bad luck have combined to leave the squad unbalanced, and the pressure on Slot is increasing with every game. Let's start with the biggest concern, the attack. Mohamed Salah is away at the Africa Cup of Nations, removing Liverpool's most reliable goal scorer at a crucial stage of the season. On top of that, Alexander Isak is facing a long spell on the sidelines due to injury. That leaves Liverpool short of proven options up front, forcing makeshift solutions and limiting tactical flexibility. Fans have noticed it, pundits have noticed it, and the club certainly knows it too. But the problems don't stop there. Defensively, Liverpool are now in a full-blown crisis. Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate are currently the only fully fit senior center-backs available. Joe Gomez is sidelined with injury, while summer signing Giovanni Leone has suffered an ACL injury that has ruled him out for the rest of the season. That is a worrying situation for any club, let alone one chasing Champions League football. With so few options at the back, every match now feels like a risk. One more injury, one suspension, and Liverpool could be left dangerously exposed. That is why calls for defensive reinforcements have grown louder, and why January business now feels less like a choice and more like a necessity. This brings us to a familiar name, Marc Guéhi. Liverpool fans will remember just how close the club came to signing the Crystal Palace captain last summer. A deal worth around £35 million had been agreed. Guéhi even completed a medical. Everything looked done, only for the transfer to collapse at the very last moment on deadline day. It was a huge disappointment at the time, and it's one that still feels unfinished. Now, Liverpool may finally have been handed a second chance. Crystal Palace head coach Oliver Glasner has openly admitted that he does not know whether Guéhi will remain at the club during this January transfer window. That alone is a major boost for Liverpool. Guéhi's contract runs until the end of the 2025-26 season, and he has made it clear he will not sign a new deal. Palace risk losing him for less money later if they don't act soon. Glasner's comments were honest and revealing. He made it clear that there is uncertainty around not just Guéhi, but several players at the club. He stated plainly that he doesn't know what will happen, and if he did, he would say so. For Liverpool, that uncertainty creates opportunity. With the Reds desperately needing a center-back, and Guéhi already open to the move in the past, this situation feels like one to watch very closely. Arne Slot would gain a proven Premier League defender, still only 25, with leadership qualities and England experience. It would instantly ease the pressure on Van Dijk and Konate and stabilize a defense that is currently running on fumes. At the same time, Liverpool have already confirmed their first piece of business of the winter window, giving Slot a small but important boost. While it may not be the blockbuster signing fans are craving, it shows the club is active, organized, and ready to move if the right deal becomes available. This January window is shaping up to be critical. Liverpool are not far off their targets, but they are walking a fine line. Injuries have exposed the lack of depth, and without reinforcements, the season could drift away. With smart moves, however, the Reds could still push strongly for a top-4 finish and restore momentum. Arne Slot now faces a defining month. Does he gamble with the squad he has, or does he push the club to act decisively? With attackers missing, defenders injured, and rivals strengthening, standing still may no longer be an option. One thing is certain, Liverpool fans should expect movement. The signs are there, the need is clear, and the opportunity, especially with Marc Guéhi, might finally be too good to ignore. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything.